After experiencing the stunning and beautiful masterpiece of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, just about everyone is excited for the future of CD Projekt Red. Their next entry into the open-world RPG genre will not be a new Witcher, but Cyberpunk 2077, a franchise that already has a somewhat established world and setting with Night City. But today we're going to be going through 5 things that you must know about Cyberpunk 2077. Nonetheless, we're going to jump right into it right now, here at the number 5 spot with creative new features. CD Projekt Red has now established themselves as a top-tier developer, creating arguably one of the greatest video games of all time, and there's now a ton of attention and you probably could say pressure on their future games to follow. Everything we've heard so far about this game is intriguing, and it seems that the innovative ideas and features will continue onwards within Night City. We've so far only gotten a glimpse into our next journey from CD Projekt Red, but let's look at some of the intriguing new features that have been discussed. Back in 2013, the idea was floated around that they may record all dialogue in each character's language. So Spanish, for instance, would have the player use a translator implant to decipher the language. And honestly, this is exciting because it adds to the immersion, but it also probably is very difficult based on the amount of work that would have to be done to ensure this feature is utilized to the full potential. But next we have his brain dances, a form of futuristic drug-like virtual reality that will play a major role. It's been described as, quote, people live someone else's life while sleeping in the gutter, unquote. And that comment is coming from the lead gameplay designer in an interview with The Verge. We also know that there won't be a predestined hero like Geralt was in the Witcher series, but instead they will have character classes to choose from. And lastly we have is in late 2016, it was found through Cyberpunk 2077 job ads that CD Projekt was searching for a vehicle gameplay programmer who could create the whole architecture and the physics of driving / flying in those vehicles, pretty much implying we should see various vehicles within this game, and that sounds awesome to me. Maybe something that is obvious, but when I imagine how this could play out, I look to other pieces of media like the films The Fifth Element or Blade Runner. No matter what, we can expect tons of new and fun features, but just from the ones we have heard, CD Projekt Red is truly going to push the boundary of how big and bold an RPG can be. But now to the number 4 spot, we have the development of Cyberpunk 2077. It's fairly obvious that this game was announced maybe a little too early. With all these years of development, this should show that CD Projekt Red is taking their time to ensure us gamers get the best possible experience. But it all begins in 2012 when Mike Pondsmith, the creator of the original tabletop game, and Marcin Nowinski, one of the founders of CD Projekt, revealed Cyberpunk 2077. But as time has moved past that 2012 reveal, we haven't seen much of Cyberpunk 2077. In early 2013, we got our first teaser trailer for the game, which showed the Psycho Squad and how they might acquire a new member, and also the setting of Night City. Since that trailer, we have not seen anything new for this game, and there are a few reasons. The first being that CD Projekt Red was still working on The Witcher 3 and its DLC expansions that came in 2015 and 2016, but now that is behind them. The second reason was that one of CD Projekt's founders, Marcin Nowinski, has stated that they began taking the approach that Rockstar Games has, which is staying quiet till they're ready to show off more, and when the game's development is closing out on completion. But in September of 2016, we did learn that more people are working on Cyberpunk 2077 than ever worked on The Witcher 3 at the same time. So it sounds like the developers are hard at work right now, probably in the most crucial part of development. In 2015, CD Projekt Red's visual effects artist revealed that, quote, Cyberpunk 2077 is far bigger than anything else that CD Projekt Red has done before, far bigger. We're really stepping into the unknown in terms of complexity and size and problems we encounter, unquote. But recently in 2017, it was found that the official website was showing the ESRB rating for Cyberpunk 2077, and just from some of the wording, a lot of the elements that made The Witcher 3 even more, quote, fun, unquote, will be returning. Although I do want to mention that no official rating has been given, but I think we can conclude that CD Projekt Red expects to see this rating, so that's why they put it on their website. But the latest update we got was actually a few days ago at a financial results conference where CD Projekt Red studio head Adam Badowski got on stage to say progress on Cyberpunk 2077 was, quote, quite advanced, unquote, and that the studio's biggest team comprised of several hundreds of people was working on the game. CD Projekt's president Adam Kaczynski added, quote, the project is very ambitious, unquote, pointing out that each of CD Projekt's games has been more successful than the last. And he goes on to say, quote, the ambitions are very voracious, so we would like to devote a lot of attention to cyber, a lot of effort, and quite some time, so we still need time before the game is ready, unquote. He later added, quote, the work is ongoing and it's very intense, so it's not a comfortable situation because we know what it's like. We watch the game, we can't tell you anything. The year belongs to Gwent. This year we'll be communicating Gwent, unquote. Either way, it's clear as day that CD Projekt Red is taking their time with this, even saying that they're having fun with it all. After Gwent does release, it has been said that there will be a
What does
since
the
2016.
wiki article say? I'd like to see
I
what
read
the
their
wiki
no,
article.
dude. I read their. It doesn't say. I went into their public records
Hmm?
to find their balance thing. You know, their public statement for how much money they made, and it showed that Witcher 3 cost over. I don't know about the expansion packs, but the core game profit was like 10 times, and they put it all back in the company. So they hired a lot of people and bought a lot of shit. And like motion capture, they're doing a whole new set of vehicles, like flying vehicles and ground vehicles and shit.
For The Witcher?
No, The Witcher's dead. The Witcher 3 was the end. It actually has an ending, by the way. That's one of the reasons why it's like one of the greatest games
Oh,
ever. It's like the
it has
third
an
game.
ending.
Yeah, it's got an ending, dude.
A lot of games have an.
Not like a happy like whatever, but like it's got an end. Like end. You're like there's no reason for this to continue anymore. This is done.
I wonder what the last one is.
Where's
Take over from there.
the ending?
Okay.
It's back.
I already supplied. Go.
The most important part.
Yeah.
You pull over that chair.
Why do I have to do it?
You don't have to. Now.
Oh man.
You see the footage of the Moab drop?
No. Where?
Yeah.
This is gonna be like literally make my dick hard.
Here's the here it is. Ready?
It's gonna hit. Holy fuck, bro. That's a that's a lake.
That's a yeah. That's a valley.
And
That's inside a valley. That's why it blows it up so good.
holy shit, bro.
Look at the real fucking shot though. They have a real camera shot.
Oh my god, dude. That just like fucking pushed the whole river back a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody in Afghanistan heard that.
Yeah. Iran was like, excuse me, what was it?
Everybody heard that.
Here's a good one.
Skip forward a little.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah. You see how that made that like very heavily infrared shielded camera still
Yeah.
flicker?
Yeah, I know what it is. I know
Airburst. Quick. The United States tested a new superweapon.
Boom.
that. I think it's just this one.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh my god, bro.
Go on.
See, you can see. it's big enough for bomb to do this. Look. Right? It drops, it pushes out. Look, it gets sucked back in. You see all that going back in?
Yeah, it's a vacuum.
It's big enough to half make an implosion. Suck it in. You like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, the United States military has used an
dropped personnel that had been video we're showing of the testing of the bomb, but again, not used in combat until today, and basically pushed out the back of it. Now they've dropped it on this ISIS complex of fighters in eastern Afghanistan. This is an area where just a few days ago, a U.S. Special Operations soldier was killed in action in a firefight with ISIS fighters. It's an area the U.S. has been trying to go after to clear ISIS out of there. An extraordinary use of this weapon to put mildly how seriously the U.S. Air Force takes this bomb. The official name is the Massive Ordnance Air Blast Bomb, MOAB, MOAB. The nickname inside the Air Force for this, quite seriously, is the mother of all bombs.
Good afternoon. As many of you are aware, there's currently some news breaking out of Afghanistan, so I just want to give you a quick update. At around 7 p.m. local time in Afghanistan last night, the United States military used a GBU-43 weapon in Afghanistan. The GBU-43 is a large, powerful and accurately delivered weapon.